Hello, everyone. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
We are back at our usual day, our usual time, and our usual co-host.
I
Yay!
know,
I missed
it's
you.
crazy. I missed you too. Happy Back to the Future Day. Big.
Yes, and news about Back to the Future.
I know.
I'm now very much hoping that I get to sail on that new Royal Caribbean ship because it's going to be going out of Port Canaveral, and
Yes.
it's going to have Back to the Future the musical on board.
Crazy. I think that's a perfect fit. That's
We don't
great.
have a full article up about it yet, but that might be in our agenda next week's
Yes,
news to talk about.
I think so.
Um, we also let's say hello to some folks we've already got in the chat. First up for today is Vince Lamb, who is wishing everyone a happy Back to the
Yes.
Future Day. Anthony's in there to declare his love for DreamWorks. Derek Ho's Corner representing Blossom and Michelangelo. Hello, folks. And Michael Bingham is here too. And he is still in celebration mode for the Yankees, American League champions. Go New York.
And the Dodgers won the National League.
Yes.
I stayed up way too late.
Yes.
But yeah.
I don't know if that still counts as a Subway series because Dodgers moved out of Brooklyn like long before I was born, but close enough. It should get good ratings either way. And Brian Sager also reminding us that news broke this morning from Disney Corporate that they are going to try to figure out who is going to follow up Bob Iger sometime in early 2026. He's got a 2-year agreement that he re-signed for, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. All right, so we've got quite a few people already on the feed. So let's go ahead and kick this show off in 3, 2. Okay, that was the wrong button. I'm just trying to keep our producer Jeff on his toes when he does the editing. All right, Jeff, that one's for you. All right, here we go. Let's try this again in 3, 2.
Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding.
Welcome to the Attractions Podcast. You are all clear for dispatch. Have fun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Attractions Podcast, sponsored by MEI and MEI-Travel. I'm Seth.
And I'm Carly.
And we are here to talk to you about the latest and greatest in theme park news and more, as well as what's going on in our own lives. Carly, I missed you. Thank you for being back this week. What have you been up to?
Oh, Lordy. I packing it all in. You know, this is like our Super Bowl season. There's so much happening right now. I went to Southern California and I did the haunts out there. So I did Halloween Horror Nights at Hollywood, and I also did Knott's Scary Farm. And oh my God, both were two of my favorite events of the season. Knott's Scary Farm is just, there's so much fog, like they pump in there, that I think I screamed in like 3 guest faces because it was just someone walking towards me out of the fog, and it was not a scare actor. I mean, I just love how the entire atmosphere of that park is spooky. You know, it's like you never come out of it, and it's just, it was just such an incredible event. The houses were so good. The new houses were good. I got to see, my favorite was the Elvira exhibit. Unfortunately, she wasn't there. She's only doing a few nights.
So no Cassandra Peterson in person, but you got to see is it a museum of her history?
Yeah, and so if you've seen Pup It Up, it's in that theater, and on the stage, you get to actually go on the stage, and it's like a whole walk down memory lane of her career and her time at Knott's, and there's so many cool memorabilia and stuff, and I just love that kind of stuff. So that was definitely one of the highlights for me. Also, Universal Hollywood, HHN there was amazing.
All right. What's your hot take? Which was better this year, Orlando or Hollywood?
Hollywood.
Really?
Yeah, my husband and I both agreed that was the best. And his hot take was Not Scary Farm was the #1 event of the season.
Wow.
And I kind of have to agree with him. It was so good. You know, they don't conga line you. You know, you really got like a lot of good scares there. But yeah, Hollywood was so good this year. So I do say I love the food at Orlando because Orlando just does the food incredibly well. Hollywood's just a little behind on the F&B. You know, it's not their strongest suit, but it was just a great event. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre House was so good. That's one of my favorite horror franchises, and that was just epic. So, yes, I love going out there. So it's great. Do the SoCal haunts. Try to do them. They are just so good.
I didn't make it. I made it to Disneyland for Oogie Boogie, but I didn't get to do any of the grown-up haunts events on the West Coast. Hopefully next year. I had a much quieter week than you did, for sure.
Oh, I didn't even mention I also went to Branson, but we could talk about.
Oh, you also went? Yes. Hey, we could make this bit the whole show. We don't need to talk about the news. How is Branson?
Be talking more
what is Branson in for Halloween season like?
Nothing. I think because, you know, it's like a religious place, so I think they just kind of like it's more harvest and pumpkins.
Harvest, fall, scarecrows and pumpkins.
Which I will say, Silver Dollar City's food is just incredible. It's Harvest Fest. It's just that park is just truly blows me away every single time I go. The level of detailing, it is Disney and Universal level, and it's just I'm so excited. We're going to be talking about them, but I'm just really excited.
Yeah,
for their
we
growth.
And it also definitely got
like
some Silver Dollar discussion to be had for
100%.
Sure.
But it was nice to be cold. You know, I actually wore a sweater to a theme park, and that was the best feeling in the world because LA, when I was there for the haunts, it was 90 degrees. You know, Orlando is always hot. So it actually was fall. I ate outside and I didn't want to die.
Well, I was going to say I had a much quieter week than you, but here in Orlando, we've gotten the closest that we will get to fall, probably. Today, it's actually, we're almost back to summer again. But we had nice crisp weather, and I have a lovely visit out to Epcot's Food and Wine Festival. Finally got to try the Brussels sprouts and the fig cheese and balsamic cheesecake.
Oh yeah, did you like that? I was
I enjoyed them both, especially the Brussels sprouts. We got to see Gilly and the Girl Band performing at the Eat to the Beat festival. I know everyone talks about the big headliners, but during the weekdays they have some really great local bands, cover bands. Gilly and the Girl are locals to Winter Garden area and put on a great show. I had a very chill day at Epcot. But that was about my only theme park visit for this.
You know what? You never usually associate chill with Epcot, so I would love to hear that. Have you tried the lemon poppy seed cake yet?
I have not. Where is that one at?
I think it's from Earth Eats. It was honestly one of the. I'm not a dessert person, and it's not overly sweet. It was one of the best festival items I've ever had.
Okay, next time I'm looking out for that.
You got some time, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we could definitely talk about this all day, but without any further ado, I believe it is time for us to jump into the news in the queue. All right, we are going to start out with what probably would have been the big news of the week in any other week. Disney, both at Disney World and Disneyland, have introduced something that has long been rumored and discussed, but just kind of dropped it on us. Lightning Lane is getting a new level called Premier Pass that will do what a lot of people have wanted it to do, which means not having to schedule times, not having to look at your phone. It will get you into every Lightning Lane attraction in a park, but it comes at a very steep price.
Yes, and it's also one time.
Yeah.
That's another major factor.
So this is, continuing the long evolution of what started out as Fast Pass, has gone through Genie Plus, then Lightning Lane. Starting on starting on sorry, I'm totally blanking out.
Yeah, so I
Starting
think
on
this week it starts at Disneyland.
October 30th at Disney World,
Yeah,
and this week,
yeah.
October 23rd at Disneyland, you've got a new option that is going to be, we must emphasize, in very, very limited quantities.
It's a pilot program, they're saying.
They're saying it's a pilot program. Once they start making money, I doubt they will ever get rid of it. But hopefully they will sell it in limited enough quantities that it does not flood the existing lightning lane queues, which are often backed up enough as it is.
Oh my God, like Radiator Springs. I mean, every single time I've tried to do that recently, I've had to go to guest services and get a refund because the line is just all the way out into the streets. It's
So the
yeah.
key to this new system, which is called Lightning Lane Premier Pass, is that it is one-time purchase per person per day and covers all of the Lightning Lane attractions, both
In
the
one park.
multi-pass attractions and single pass, in one particular park.
Even if you have park hopper in
Yes.
one park.
Even if you have park hopper and you want to do more than one park, you would have to buy multiple of these, I assume, per day.
Yes. So you know what? I have been curious about that. I don't know if Disney has ever said that you can get
Or
two parks
even
in one
able
day.
to. I don't know if the system is set up yet to even allow that. You will get photo perks, including digital downloads of select attraction photos and videos, along with PhotoPass lenses. And of course, as I said at the top, the big advantage of this over all of the existing lightning lanes is that you don't have to schedule a time. You can use it once per eligible attraction,
At your leisure.
anytime,
Yep.
at your leisure, anytime when it is open. At Walt Disney World, you will have to be staying at one of the select deluxe or deluxe villa resorts. That's the monorail hotels like the Poly, the Contemporary, the Grand Floridian. It's also the beach and yacht and beach club, the Boardwalk, Swan and Dolphin, Animal Kingdom Lodge, Sarasota Springs, Old Key West, Wilderness Lodge, basically the high-end resorts. You'll have to be staying in there just to have the opportunity to purchase it. And even then, these are limited quantities. So not everyone who stays in those hotels is going to be able to buy them.
Yes.
It
they
is
have to figure out, capacity and with the existing lightning lane. So, I mean, it definitely is a pilot program to the nth degree,
the shocking part about this is the price tag. On the slowest day of the year at Animal Kingdom, it's going to cost you $129 per person. At the busiest time of the year at Magic Kingdom, it's going to cost you $449 per person.
Yeah.
Let that sink in. If we hop over to Disneyland, where, like we mentioned, this is launching a little bit earlier. For the rest of this year, it's going to be $400 per day. And then it's going to vary in 2025 between $300 and $400 per day. However, at Disneyland, at least it is going to cover park hopping. It will cover both Disneyland and California Adventure Park, and anyone's going to be able to buy it there. You don't have to be staying in a hotel, but the quantity is still going to be limited.
Yes. This was just, I don't even know how to process this.
I can process it very quickly to say that I will never, ever, ever personally purchase this. There is no chance in the world that I will ever be purchasing this. It doesn't mean that it isn't a good option for someone. I think that if you were seriously contemplating a VIP tour, but it's just out of your financial reach, this might be a good, more affordable substitute. That price is crazy, but it's a lot cheaper than a VIP tour.
Yes. So here's the thing. I love this idea. I'm a big person of Universal Express. I buy the annual pass that includes it. It's I would say almost a flawless system. I rarely have issues using Express at Universal. I love this idea for Disney. What I don't love is that I'm getting in line and the person behind me spent $15. So I think we need to just do this and stand by queues and get out all the middle stuff. So we
It's
have premium product, premium price tag, totally fine. But just only other option is stand by, and I feel like that could really even out the wait times. Um, I don't love that it's the same line. That's my issue. Is if this was a exclusive line, which I don't know how we'd have a third line, but if
right.
it's just its own line, love it. It's a lot of money, but
Yeah,
they're going to do everything, you know?
and if we've got single rider, this would now be the fourth queue
Oh gosh.
you have to manage. Yeah, the real question is what's going to happen when someone who just paid $450 gets in the Lightning Lane line, which extends out, past the entrance of the attraction, and realizes that they're standing in line behind people who paid a lot less than they did.
Yes. And I
That's
feel
a
like,
recipe,
yeah,
especially within the kind of entitlement that we see from guests. I think when someone is paying 10 times more than the person next to them, they're going to feel a sense of entitlement, and I pity the poor cast members trying to sort that out.
right. Because I also feel like the person that this is targeted towards isn't going to go into this knowing the nuances of it. They're going to go
Mhm.
in thinking that I'm just walking right on, which
Yeah,
I don't blame them. If you have a family of four and you just spent $1,600 on this,
yeah.
I would think the same thing. Like, I'm going right on this ride,
So
but it's
so
not.
I mean, operationally, then your choice is to either sell fewer of the multi-pass and the single pass in order to accommodate these premier pass people better. That ain't going to happen. Or you just give less and less of the capacity to standby, and the standby line goes proportionally slower. Uh, we have to take their word for it that these are going to be sold in very, 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 very limited quantities. Hopefully, not enough to make a major impact. But I'm going to be keeping an eye on those wait times, standby wait times, once this new system goes into place. The
Yes.
other question is, yeah,
I was going to say, I mean, I'm excited to watch the Disneyland launch, but I feel like everything just works better at Disneyland
yeah,
most of the time. So I feel like we're really going to have to see like what happens when this launches next week at Disney World. I
hmm
know I will be like peeled. I mean, I'm not purchasing it and I'm not trying it, but sorry for all the vloggers that are about to drop a lot of
oh
money.
yeah. No, I will be watching social media with a box of popcorn for sure.
Yep.
Uh, um, One other thing you mentioned, that you love Universal Express,
Yep.
and it's ironic that I have heard rumors that Universal has considered offering something like Lightning Lane Single Pass, to offer a
Oh,
single use
no.
express for certain attractions. They haven't rolled anything like that out yet. But if you put the price of Universal Express up against the price of this Lightning Lane Premier Pass at Walt Disney World side by side, it's kind of a shocking difference in price. If the Universal Express that includes both parks and is unlimited use per day is cheaper than the equivalent ticket just for the Magic Kingdom, which I kind of
Yeah.
blows my mind. But we will see. I don't doubt that Disney will sell out of the allocations of these
Yes,
every day.
you're correct.
They could probably charge even more if they wanted to.
100%.
Yeah.
And I know it's dynamic pricing, but this kind of thing really doesn't make sense at every park. Just like if you were getting regular Lightning Lane, like you don't need that for Animal Kingdom, at least in my opinion. You should be able to navigate
Mhm.
Animal Kingdom with a plan and do pretty much everything. Magic Kingdom, totally different story. So I
I-
could see it being a value there.
Lightning Lane multi-pass and single pass was barely needed at Animal Kingdom.
Mhm.
Spending this, I can't see that being a good choice. Now, if I was there at the peak of spring break at the Magic Kingdom,
Yeah.
and someone wants to buy one of these for me, I'll happily accept it, because that could definitely make your day better. for someone who has more money than they have time, and this is a once in a lifetime trip, and they don't want to spend their entire day in the park refreshing the app over and over again to try to get their next multi-pass, then it's a viable option, especially when we've seen stories about wealthy families who hire unofficial tour guides
Yeah.
that they've cracked down on, that were charging more money than this per day to do a lot less. So I'm sure there is a market for it, but I know that I
Yeah.
am not personally a part of that market.
Yeah, and not to dwell on it again, there's just so many little things. If I had that kind of money to just drop on this, I would think that person would just do a VIP tour. The price,
Well, I mean,
I mean, you have
VIP
this much
tour,
money.
but I mean, VIP tour. Now you're talking thousands of dollars per hour, with I think like a a 7 hour minimum.
Right.
Yeah,
And a family, like family of 6, maybe
yeah,
someone who's traveling with grandparents, they're still gonna spend thousands on this.
yeah, yep.
So, I mean,
Either way, it's a big outlay for sure.
yeah, I mean, we know this is gonna sell out. I
Yep.
cannot wait to see how this goes. I want it to go well because I want the middle stuff to be gone and
Yep.
just, I mean, we go to the park so much. We don't buy Genie Plus. So I miss being able to get in line. I want to do that.
So,
Um,
if this sounds like a good idea to you, at Disneyland Park, it launches on October 23rd, and you can purchase it 7 a.m. 2 days before. So if you're listening to this, go on your app and go ahead, purchase it. But keep in mind, you do need a park reservation with your ticket or your magic key, in order to be able to purchase that. Over at Disney World, it kicks off on October 30th, but you can do it at 7 a.m. 7 days prior to your resort hotel check-in. So that's coming up on the 23rd.
oh, yes.
Good luck. And if you do use it, please let us know how
Yep.
it works. We'd love to hear. All right. Next up, we've got DinoLand USA is going out pretty soon. We know its days till
Oh,
extinction are not far off, but it is going out with a roar by celebrating the holiday season at 2024 with a brand new meet and greet with Santa Claus, themed to the 75th annual Dino Institute holiday party.
I love it.
This is going to
Love
be
it.
a great way to say goodbye to DinoLand, which is making way for tropical Americas. We talked last week on the podcast about how a section of DinoLand, which includes Chester and Hester's Dinorama, is closing down very shortly. But the half that is not yet closing down is going to be celebrating the holidays with a new meet and greet on the porch of Restaurantosaurus that has a lot of fun Easter eggs referencing the dinosaur ride and the rest of this land's history.
Yes. No, I love this idea. It's like obviously a fictional place, but it's a party for the students and the faculty members of Dino Institute. Like, what a little genius way. We've already seen them doing more with it, like in that little lounge. They've been
Mhm.
having the guitar player. I love it.
If you have never taken the time to read the bulletin boards, the signage, the little notes that are scattered all around Dinoland, and especially the Restaurantosaurus, make the time before this all goes away, because it's just really great world building, lots of texture, lots of little details, connecting all the dots, and it's not an IP, it's something that was original to that park, and that's the kind of stuff that we're probably not going to see again anytime soon. If
Oh,
Bob Iger's statements about everything being IP based going forward is correct. So this is a great way to celebrate a true original story, a true original land. And if you zoom in on the concept art that they have given us for this new Santa Claus meet and greet, there are references to the Carnotaurus, to Dr. Seeker's little hand puppet, uh, tons of little details that I can't wait to see in person.
Yeah, same. Me too. Like I love the holidays at Animal Kingdom. It's really
Mhm.
just like the perfect park for holiday overlays, but this is just really exciting.
In addition to Santa, you can also meet Donald and Daisy Duck, Goofy, Pluto, Chippendale, and Kevin from Up throughout DinoLand, mostly as part of Donald's Dino Bash celebration. And we've got some photos on our website calling back to previous DinoLand holiday decorations. Uh, Great way to celebrate this land again before it celebrates its very final Christmas and New Year's. And we'll have to look forward to Encanto and Indiana Jones coming in the years to come.
No, dinosaur forever.
Uh, Another Disney adventure that is on the horizon is the Disney Adventure cruise ship. And we have 84 brand spanking new concept art images of this new ship that sets sail in 25 from Singapore. It's going to have everything from a Marvel themed roller coaster to a show starring Wally, tons of activities. And, I was a little skeptical when Disney announced that they were buying a half finished ship from a bankrupt fleet and trying to turn it into a Disney ship, because the Disney ships in the past have all been so distinctive. But there are a lot of fun things to do on this ship that kind of makes me jealous of the folks in the Southeast Asia market who are going to have the opportunity to sail on this.
Yeah, same. And you know what? Last week they dropped like a mammoth amount of news,
Mm,
like so many details. It took me
yeah.
like a really long time to like read it and write a story about it because there was just so much that they released, and it just makes me so jealous. But yes, it's gonna have like a mini theme park. So there's 3 rides.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is very much we've said this about other cruise ships, but this is absolutely a theme park on the ocean. We've had kind of a fun map previously that we discussed on an earlier episode. There's sort of a cartoon rendering of the 7 themed zones that make up this new ship, but now we've got some more realistic renderings showing the general location and layout and some of the attractions for this ship, whose bookings open this December 10th and is going to have its first voyage on December 15th of 2025. Like you said, there is a ton here. And if you go to attractionsmagazine.com, you can read all of the details in our article. So we're going to go through some of the highlights here, starting with a look inside the staterooms. And we've got both interior cabins and ones with verandas. And it looks like the theme of the room, the IP of the room, is tied to what type of room it is. For instance, the interiors look like they've got the interiors and the windows look like they've got Frozen as the theme, whereas the verandas that look both into the interior of the ship and also to the exterior look like they've got a Little Mermaid design.
Yes, the staterooms are really interesting. I mean, they definitely, I know this was an existing ship,
Mhm.
but they definitely look similar to what, we're used to on the domestic ships, at
Yeah.
least the standard ones.
I am curious to see the bathroom design. I don't know if we've gotten a
So
rendering of the restrooms and if they have that split layout that I love
so
in the
they
other ships.
release the details.
Ah.
Not all rooms will have a split
Mm,
bathroom, which is obviously a Disney Cruise Line staple.
yeah.
So I'm curious, and I don't think they really said exactly which ones will have it, but they did say not all, but
Mhm.
most will have the split.
Um, what the really exciting thing is the rides. And we've had water coasters on Disney ships before, but I don't think we've ever had anything that approaches actual theme park style attractions on a Disney ship, and the adventure is going to have 3 of them, all on the Marvel landing deck. We're going to start with the uh, Iron Man themed roller coaster, which is called the Iron Cycle Test Run. And I swear that this looks exactly the same model as the Bolt, which is on the Carnival Mardi Gras,
Yeah.
which is a 2-passenger kind of a straddle coaster, sort of a motorcycle style seating. But it is actually a powered coaster. It's not just using gravity. It's actually got a motor that electric motor that drives you around the track, and it looks like it's got the handlebar controls that lets you sort of give a little boost of speed. I did a similar model on the Carnival ship, and I'm hoping that the track is significantly longer than on the Carnival ship. It does look longer here.
Yes, I believe this one is going to be a little over 800 feet of track,
Okay, all right,
and
that's
this will be
reasonable.
officially the longest roller coaster
Of
at
course,
sea.
see.
Mhm.
Excellent. And then we've also got the Pin Quantum Racers go-karts. It's a cute little go-kart track that we've got here with some colorful cars. But and then finally, there is the Groot Galaxy Spin Flat Ride, which looks like a Dumbo style spinner, but the cars definitely looked suspiciously similar to the Gardens of the Galaxy roller coaster over at Epcot.
Yes.
Very similar styling. So
So I would like to see what your thoughts are on having this much deck space used for attractions.
yeah, I'm in terms of capacity. It's interesting, like how many people are actually going to use this space at
Mhm.
any given time. But it does look like they've also devoted plenty of other areas to things like the water park, which is going to have a Toy Story splash pad and Woody and Jesse's water slides. Got a Pizza Planet themed water tower here, and plenty of pools. They've got a Wayfinder Bay, which is a kind of a quiet pool, but it is open to all guests, not just adults. Um, it's got a Marvel Landing with an infinity pool. I guess it's
Ooh,
go diving for in stones in the
don't-
infinity pool. The only thing it's missing is the Aqua Mouse water coaster. They are not going to have one of those.
That's okay. They get 3 rides.
Yeah.
I am, it's interesting. I've never sailed in that market, so I don't
Hmm.
know what that customer is like.
Uh-huh.
Um, have you ever been on a cruise where people don't really swim? Like I've been on Holland America cruises, and like no one swims.
Yeah.
I wonder if that
Interesting.
market cares about water activities or not. I would be very curious to see, like, maybe they just want to do all the classic Disney activities, like trivia and the rides. I'm
Yeah.
really curious to see how, like, what their tastes are there. I mean, I'm sure Disney has
Hmm.
taken that into a factor, but because not all cruise lines people swim.
Right. Well, if you don't swim and you prefer shows, the Disney Adventure does have you covered, because in the Walt Disney Theater, they're going to debut a brand new show called Remember that is going to mash up Wally and Eve with Coco, The Little Mermaid, and Aladdin. Uh, what I find most interesting about this concept art is that it almost makes it look like the theater, it's an indoor theater, but it almost makes it look like it's outside. And I'm wondering if this is either a giant LED wall or projection mapping that's going to kind of be used to extend the scenery past the proscenium of the stage. I think that's a really interesting technique.
Oh yeah.
So I love Wally, and I love Coco. So, peanut butter and chocolate, right? Uh,
Yeah, this looks great.
You're also going to get chance to see a version of Disney Sees the Adventure that debuted on the Wish back in 2022, and it stars Goofy and Captain Minnie.
Yes,
Uh,
we love Captain Minnie.
Another really interesting element of this ship is the garden stage. This is kind of a vast indoor stage, indoor area that almost feels outdoor. and is going to be the venue for 5 new productions. It looks like these are the kind of shows that we would normally see on the top deck stage,
Mhm.
and instead they're going to be in this new location. There is an Avengers Assemble stunt show that looks like it's going to feature all of the Marvel heroes plus Deadpool. There is a Baymax show. And then outside on the deck, there is a poolside show, or it looks like almost a shallow stage built with a pool for Moana Call of the Seas, which is a live puppet retelling of the Moana show.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many live stage productions on this
Mhm.
ship. It's incredible.
Yeah, I noticed, I noticed in Tokyo and also when I was in Hong Kong that Asian guests really seem to love live entertainment.
Mhm.
There's a big focus on live shows and live characters. So it looks like they are going for that
Great.
on this ship. They're also bringing a bunch of the favorites from the previous ships in terms of restaurants along, but they've got some new names and some slightly different themes. And it looks like they are taking some of them and splitting them. There's going to be both an animator's palette restaurant and an animator's table restaurant, which both look almost identical to each other and both seem similar to similarly named restaurants that we have on the domestic ships. Uh, Similarly, you'll go to either the Navigators Club or the Hollywood Spotlight Club to meet Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Daisy. And then there's the Enchanted Summer Restaurant, where you're either going to be in a Tangled themed restaurant or a Frozen themed restaurant. So it looks like the ship is so large,
Right.
the capacity of the ship is so big, they've kind of had to like duplicate themes and just tweak them slightly. So you'll be either on one or the other, but they're basically the same thing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think the capacity is like 6,000
Yeah,
ish on
that's
or guest.
pretty big. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's huge. Um, in addition to those signature, the rotational dining restaurants, they've also got quick service options for breakfast and lunch, including Stitch's Ohana Grill, which I had assumed would be Hawaiian food, but is actually just American food. Cosmic kebabs that are themed to Miss
Mm.
Marvel. Jungle Book themed Indian food, Pacific and Asian food themed to Moana, and a Toy Story Pizza Planet. I'm sure that Pizza Planet will be popular.
Oh, yes.
And then finally, the signature table service dining locations. We're used to on the domestic ship to having Palo and Remy. There is going to be a version of Palo that's themed to Luca, but they are going to have a signature Asian restaurant called Mike and Sully's Flavors of Asia. I kind of wish they'd call it Harryhausen's after the sushi bar
Yes.
in the movies. But
Regardless,
yeah,
I love this idea
yeah,
because it's just so funny to think like you're going to a premium dining and it's themed to monsters.
right. Are there teppanyaki restaurants on any of the other Disney ships
No, so this
with
will be the
hibachi tables?
first. Yeah, this will
Yeah,
be the first one.
yeah. So, um, and then on the lounge side, if you're looking for somewhere to get an adult beverage, they are going to have 4 adult-only bars: a pirate-themed bar, one themed to the evil queen from Snow White,
That sounds amazing. Yeah.
Taverna Porto Rosa from Luca, and a Princess and the Frog themed Tiana's Bayou Lounge.
It all sounds so good. I'm
Yeah.
so jealous.
I actually really love these renderings of the Ursula Little Mermaid themed boba cafe
Yes.
with all these like neon glowing colors, seaweed hanging from the ceiling. It's kind of trippy. I like that.
Yeah, they're going to be really spoiled on this
Yeah.
ship.
The little kids are also going to be spoiled on this ship because they've of course got kids clubs like all of the Disney ships. A lot of familiar things like the Small World Nursery, They've got a princess area, a Toy Story playground with a slide. Very similar things to what we've seen on the other ships,
I
including
was
the.
just about to say that.
It's almost copy and paste. Like
Yeah,
they've
which
got.
is fine. They're
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, because I mean the Marvel Avengers area, and especially the Imagineering Lab. The Imagineering Lab, when that was first introduced on the domestic ships, I was like, I want to go, I want to have a child just so that I can get in there, right?
Hey, you know
You,
what? I've gone on the Toy Story Playland slide. I have no shame.
yeah, and I know on the domestic ships they have open houses where the adults get to play in these areas, usually on the first day. I hope they have that for folks on the new ship as well. They've also got an edge and a vibe for the tweens and the teens, of course. And there's a whole San Francisco street from Big Hero 6 where you can enjoy video games and a 4-screen movie theater complex, and also a Discovery Reef area themed to a Little Mermaid that looks like a big open air kind of lounge area.
Oh yeah, I mean, all these renderings it really looks beautiful,
Yep.
and it really does. Like you said, this wasn't Disney ship; they bought it, but they're
Yep.
really making it have a lot of the attributes of a Disney.
Yeah, it does not. It definitely from these renderings, when you look at these concierge level areas like this Aladdin lounge and the Mary Poppins themed spa. The decor does not look like a slapped on afterthought. It doesn't. It definitely. It looks like a Disney ship for
Yep.
sure from these renderings. So
Yes, and I love that. So the two main suites on this ship is the Elsa and the Anna suite for the
yes,
concierge, and I love that. I'm sure
yeah,
there's going to be lots of really good artwork in there.
yeah. Well, I do not know if our folks at MEI and Mouse Fan Travel are going to be booking this ship specifically because it is definitely specific to the Southeast Asian market. However, they can definitely help you get aboard one of the domestic ships.
Yes, and we will find out next month how much this costs
Yes.
because
Yeah.
they haven't revealed the prices yet.
Yes, bookings coming later this year. So coming a little closer to home in Las Vegas, we know that Universal Studios is on their way to Las Vegas, creating a permanent Halloween Horror Nights. And just on the other side of town, Warner Brothers is now planning a new studio tour attraction with IPs that are still to be determined, but could include anything from Scooby-Doo to Game of Thrones to Friends.
Yeah, I think this is a great idea, great fit for Vegas. But I mean, it's just like going on the backlot tour. Like it's
Yeah.
not a real at least in LA, you're really
Yeah.
seeing these locations. So I'm a little whatever, but I think it'll still be fun.
Yeah. Warner Brothers has successful studio tours, as you mentioned, in Hollywood and also in London. And I believe they have a Harry Potter themed one in Japan now, too. This would be set attached to the film production facilities that they plan on developing in the area in conjunction with the local University of Nevada. They've got a bill proposed in the legislature that is tied to film and television production tax credits, something that we used to have here in Florida when we were trying to be Hollywood East and then stopped doing for political reasons. So this is part of Warner Brothers' plans to, quote, transform piecemeal location filming into a sustainable film and television ecosystem with a fully fledged studio-based production hub at its heart. So if they have their way, this won't just be a fake studio tour, but it will be a tour attached to a real operating studio.
It's definitely a great idea. We've seen how well that's worked for Atlanta, to become a hub. And
Mhm.
this is so much easier. It's hard sometimes to get people out, all the way to Atlanta from LA. But if, most of the people are living in Los Angeles, it's so easy to get to Vegas. So I
Yeah.
hope this does work out.
So this project is going to take up 47 acres. It's going to have 14 sound stages, along with a technology lab, a healthcare facility, and a studio tour, plus a 250 room hotel. Because we apparently don't have enough hotels in Las Vegas as is. This tour, don't go booking your trip there yet, because it's going to take 3 years of construction once it's
Wow.
approved and breaks ground. They are looking at a proposed opening of 2027 if they start building it in 2025. I don't know, knowing I think that might be a little optimistic. If we get this done before 2030, I think that would be great. Warner Brothers is committing at least $8.5 billion over the first 15 years investment in this project. What would actually be part of this is a mystery. I don't know if their agreement with Universal would allow them to have anything Harry Potter themed within that distance of Universal Hollywood. Someone will have to pull up the licensing agreement and call a lawyer. Let us know. Interestingly, they previously announced that a permanent version of the Friends experience, which is a component of the studio tour in some of the other locations, is going to be opening sometime in 2024 in Las Vegas. So I'd be curious to see if that remains a separate attraction or if that merges with it at some point.
For sure. I mean, those are always so popular.
Yeah. I would definitely be making this a part of my trip. I love Area 15. I'm very excited about Universal Horror Unleashed coming to Area 15. And Warner Brothers has previously collaborated with the escape room company that does the It escape room in Las Vegas. So there's a lot of great kind of theme park adjacent and movie adjacent attractions to experience in Vegas, and this one I'll definitely be adding to my list.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is going to be like no doubt successful and a top attraction.
Oh. All right, and finally, for the last piece of news in our queue, Silver Dollar City has made the biggest announcement in its history with a $500 million expansion plan that is going to cover 1,200 acres, a decade in the making, and will start off with a gorgeous looking on site hotel that is looking to turn the Branson, Missouri theme park into a real destination resort.
Yes. And
You know a lot more about all of this than I do, so I want to know. Should I be as excited about this as it looks?
Yes, I was at Silver Dollar City for the announcement. I cannot emphasize this enough. I will scream from a mountaintop. This is one of the best theme parks in the world. It is top level. It is Disney Universal level theming. Operations are wonderful. The rides are wonderful. There's dark rides. The food is incredible. This is one of the best theme parks. And the only thing is its location. It's not an easy flight, so that's how sometimes people bypass it because it's not exactly easy to get to. But for those that live within that region, they're really changing up the mold of trying to really become this destination beyond just the regional guests that are the hardcore audience. And just to clarify, the 500 billion isn't just for this piece of land. The land is where the hotel will be, but it's 500 billion to contribute to like all of it overall. So that could mean expansions of the theme park. They kind of rebranded to Silver Dollar City Parks and Resorts. So this hotel is just like the first thing, is what they were kind of emphasizing. Like, this is the first main tangible product of what this expansion plan is, but it's going to be a lot more than just this.
Well, for a first phase, it's a pretty good start.
Yes.
Because in late 2026, you'll be able to stay overnight at the Silver Dollar City Resort, which is going to contain 262 guest rooms and has amazing amenities. The rendering really reminds me of like a Wilderness Lodge or an Animal Kingdom Lodge. in terms of the richness of the grounds, the integration of pools and gardens, um, and it is going to have both indoor and outdoor swimming areas, meeting space, restaurant, and most importantly, transportation to the nearby theme park.
Yes, I got to do a pink Jeep tour to take us to the site. So this is basically like the top of the mountain. They actually are having to like shave it down 8
Wow.
stories, I believe.
Wow.
But yeah, it was really, really, really cool. But the view, oh my gosh, it
Mm.
is like the most gorgeous view. Pictures couldn't even do it justice. So this is going to be just incredible to stay at and like look out into the Ozark Mountains and the lake. It's a beautiful site, and of course, it's just minutes from Silver Dollar City. So you'll have that free trolley, kind of like what Dollywood offers, that takes you. And also, if you look at the renderings, the
Mhm.
back where that huge like atrium overlooking the fire pit,
Mhm.
it's actually very, very similar to the Heart Song.
Ah,
Looks like just like it from
over at Dolly.
Yep, over at
Yep.
Dollywood. A lot of people don't know that they are owned by the same
Mhm.
parent company because they don't do anything like branding wise. They're not like sister parks where they promote each other. It's like a two totally separate different
Mm.
entities. But I am really, really excited. Silver Dollar City is just wonderful, and I'm excited to have a hotel to stay at because right now they just have campgrounds, and I don't camp.
And how far are the nearest hotels when you do go and visit?
See, that's the problem. Yeah, there's really no hotel. There's not many hotels.
Mhm.
Brampton's very spread out. It's kind of like Orlando. You could
Mhm.
be driving 30 minutes to
Mm.
go. Because this is Branson West. So this hotel is just minutes from the theme park. So it is definitely exciting to have that option. And there's not a lot of high level hotels there, I guess
Mhm.
would be I mean, there's Hilton's, there's familiar brands, but this is going to be the first like themed hotel
Mhm.
in the Midwest. So, like theme park hotel. So I think this is definitely going to be refreshing and something different and attract people that, have always wondered about going. And, this will be the push to send them there.
Well, I also thought it was interesting that the hotel does not butt right up against the theme park. As you
Mm-mm.
said, it's kind of at the top of an elevation overlooking the theme park, giving amazing views. Um, we've got this rendering that sort of shows the whole site plan, shows where the hotel is in relation to the park, and uh, this, of course, is just as you mentioned, the first phase, and we should expect to see additions and expansions to the attractions coming over the next decade. Still yet to be announced, right?
Yeah, still yet to be announced, but their new name is Silver Dollar City Parks and
Mm.
Resorts. So, I mean, they wouldn't really say what else they have up their sleeves, but yes.
Well, this park has been on my bucket list for a long
Yes.
time, and this is definitely yet another reason why I need to get myself out there.
You have to.
Uh, Definitely in looking forward to late 2026 when this hotel should open up.
Woohoo.
All right, that is going to bring us to the end of our news in the queue. We are going to, before we jump into our main attraction, hear a brief word from our sponsor.
The Attractions Podcast is brought to you by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. Whether your next vacation is a magical trip to the theme parks, an exciting adventure to the pyramids of Egypt, or just a relaxing cruise on the turquoise waters of the Bahamas, MEI-Travel provides premium service and expert advice to help you get the most of your vacation. They are always free of any hidden fees or costs to you. Visit them at mei-travel.com.
It's time for the main attraction.
All right, for our main attraction for it feels like ages, but at least the full last year, Universal has been teasing us with little bits and pieces of information about their upcoming theme park, Epic Universe. And now they've finally given us the information everyone wanted to know when it's opening. And the big date to mark on your calendar is May 22nd, 2025. That will be the official grand opening day for Universal Epic Universe. And if you want to be among the very first people to be in the park on its official opening day, opening week, opening month, you have your opportunity to purchase tickets starting very, very soon. Ticket sales will start on October 22nd. Today is the 21st as we are recording this, so that by the time you hear it, they may already be on sale. And just 2 days later, on the 24th, annual pass holders will have their first chance to buy tickets set aside for them. So the first question is, Carly, will you be buying yourself tickets for opening day or opening week?
Oh, I don't know. I think I am not sure. I mean, I want to, but I don't know. I feel like it's it's definitely complicated. If you want to get in, the only way really besides the annual pass holder tickets is to buy, the multi-day ticket where you get 1 day in, or the
Hmm.
vacation package bundled with the multi-day tickets. It's a little confusing, but the demand is going to be crazy. And I hate to say this, but I'm probably just going to try to ride everything at the media preview and then wait for the dust to settle.
I I gotta say, I mean, we are both in a privileged position to be
Right.
able
Mhm.
to wait and hope that we get media invites. But I
100%.
I'm somewhat terrified of what the opening day or opening week might be like for just the average ticket holder. I'm looking forward. They have said that there will be some sort of preview opportunities, soft
Yes.
opening opportunities, and I am looking forward to. I will definitely, if those open up, buy tickets for that because I can have lower expectations. Everyone has to have a lower expectation
Mhm.
for a preview, but I'm afraid of those first few official opening days.
Yes,
In
I'm with you
addition,
with that, and you know what? When I go to an annual pass holder preview or, like, a media preview, I ride things, like, 20 times because I don't know if it's ever gonna be able to be that easy, and
sure,
I did that
exactly.
for Cosmic Rewind. I rode it 15 times until I threw up. I did it for Super Nintendo World because I know how lucky we are, and I'm just realistic that we're not gonna get to experience it in a nice way for a
Yeah.
long time. And it's like I really just like live in that moment, and I know I'm going to be doing this if we get to have annual pass holder previews, because yeah, it's going to be crazy. I mean, this is the biggest thing to happen.
Yes, and honestly, I'm sure they have said that there will be announcements about annual pass holder previews, Florida resident tickets, that kind of thing in the future. I'm sure that's all going to happen because honestly, they need us to be guinea
Testing.
pigs.
Yep.
They need us to be human crash test dummies,
I'm fine with that.
and I'm very fine with that. In addition to opening the theme park itself and all of its lands on May 22nd, 2025, they will also be opening the new Helios Grand Hotel on that same day. This is the hotel that is attached to the back of the park and will give people staying there early entry into the park. I have a feeling that if people think they're going to be able to check in on opening day and get early entry on opening day, that might be that might not be the greatest idea. I think if you are looking for early entry, I would count on the second day maybe, but not on
Yeah.
that. If you're, I don't know how you open a hotel and do early entry that same morning, but good luck with that.
Yeah,
Um,
it should be very, very interesting. And also important to note, with the ticket that you have to purchase to be able to, I'm not talking about annual pass, just
mhm.
regular. You only, if you're buying like a multi-day ticket, you only get one of those days at Epic Theme Park.
Yes,
So it's
yeah,
very important to remember that you can go to all the other parks, Volcano Bay Add-on, Islands of Adventure, Universal Studios Florida, whenever you want, but you
yeah.
just get 1 day at
So
first.
yeah, this is something that's very confusing. We did talk about this a few months back when this information was first leaked out to travel agents. Now it is public and confirmed. This is just the first wave of tickets. When we get closer to the grand opening, there will be other ticket options.
Yeah.
But for right now, if you want to guarantee yourself to go during this opening period starting May 22nd. you will need to buy some sort of package or a bundle ticket, a multi-day ticket.
Yep.
And that multi-day ticket will have several days at the old parks and only one day at the new Epic Universe Park. If you are an annual pass holder, like we said, starting on the 24th, you have options to buy a single day ticket to Epic Universe. But we don't know anything about Florida resident discounts. We don't know anything about single day tickets yet for the general public. We don't know anything about adding on Epic Universe to an annual pass. All of that stuff coming in the future. So if you are patient enough to be able to wait for more ticket options that will come later, I would probably wait. If you need the bragging rights, if you will have so much FOMO, if you are not there on May 22nd or May 23rd or sometime in May, go ahead, book a package, either a vacation package or a multi-day ticket package. But know that this is not the only options. If you hear people say, oh, the only way they'll let anyone go to this new park is by buying other tickets, you tell them that they're wrong.
Yeah.
This is just the first wave of sales. And honestly, it's about managing demand. It's about seeing how much, honestly, it's about them seeing how much demand there is for this park. If they see that lots of people are willing to buy tickets to IOA and USF just for the opportunity to get one day in Epic Universe, they're golden. They can, if they see that these tickets aren't selling, then we're going to see what happens when the standalone tickets go on sale.
Right. And I believe the minimum is 3 days. So that's really not like a crazy number if you're coming for even a long weekend vacation.
Yeah.
3 days is pretty normal of what you'd buy anyway. So I don't really think it's totally outlandish, but I'm definitely excited to see, how it goes.
But it is kind of drawing, even saying 3 days for Universal, and I believe it goes up to 5 days tickets with plus one maybe.
Yep.
Universal was always traditionally like trying to get 1 day or maybe 2 day away from your Disney vacation. For them to say, it's 3 days minimum. If you're staying on Disney property, you might take an Uber over to Universal for a day, but you're not gonna stay there on Disney property and then go to Universal for 3 days. So if you're going to Universal for 3 days, then you're probably going to stay somewhere at or near Universal. And now we're like breaking Disney's grip on your week-long vacation. At minimum, you're doing a split trip. And maybe you're doing a trip where you're staying at Universal and just taking a day to go to Disney. And that's the kind of shift I think that's what this is all about for Universal. This is about gaining those extra days of your vacation. They are, speaking of extra days on your vacation, the folks who really come here for a long time are those from the UK. They don't do 3 days trips or 5-day trips. They come here for like 2 weeks.
And boy, do they love their Universal.
They absolutely love Universal. They're Universal crazy. So they will be able to buy tickets in 2025. They'll be able to buy an Explorer ticket that has 14 days at the original parks plus 1 day at the new park. And then come 2026, they'll be able to get tickets that let them go to all of the parks, including Epic, for 14 days. So that might be a little clue as to how long it will take before we start seeing options that let you go to the park on multiple days without having to buy individual single-day tickets. It might be till 2026, or it might not.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they do for annual passes. I don't see them adding on like the add the park right away. I don't know.
No, I would say at least for 2025, my prediction is that annual pass holders will be able to purchase 1-day tickets on an availability basis at a discount, but they won't just have unlimited access to Epic. I don't think they can do that for capacity reasons.
No. So my dream of casually meeting you at the cafe for a glass of wine.
Well, we'll plan it. We will.
Yes.
We will very specifically plan it. We'll buy 1-day tickets so that we can both be there. So other things that we are still waiting to hear about are team member previews and other kind of previews. That will all be coming in the future months. But I've heard rumors that they want to start testing this stuff at least 2 to 4 months before the grand opening. So we could start seeing, people going into the parks and riding the rides as, sometime early next year.
Yeah,
It's a very exciting time.
it is.
I
So
remember,
I
yeah.
guess my only relation to this would be like Animal Kingdom, which
hmm
they before their opening, didn't they offer tickets to pass holders that were cheap?
I
Like,
was just talking about that with a friend. I
yeah,
remember going multiple times to Animal Kingdom before opening day because it was 20 something bucks, I think,
yes, yeah.
to get this preview ticket. Um, and that's where I actually saw Big Red dead at the side of the safari ride
Whoa.
before they removed the gory elephant corpse from the
Woo.
attraction. And I saw a dinosaur back when it was actually countdown to extinction.
Countdown,
So yeah.
yes.
So hopefully we will all be able to get in there for previews and it but yeah, May 22nd is definitely already marked on my calendar one way or the other.
Yes. I mean, I definitely would love to be there on the opening day, but
Yep.
it's okay if we're not. I mean, it's going to be here for years to come, and yes, but I'm so excited. And then there was a panel over the weekend. I believe it was at like Comic-Con or one of those
Oh
things,
yes. I
and they
think
said some, more details.
Yes, I believe that they revealed a few little details about Dark Universe.
Hmm.
The queue of the Frankenstein attraction is going to have some jump scares in it. I hope
Yes.
those are not removed very quickly like they were at Skull Island.
Yeah.
And also, I think we've got a couple more meet and greet characters confirmed. The
Yes.
Phantom of the Opera,
Yep.
and who was the other one?
Oh, there was another one, and I can't remember, but it was definitely Phantom of the Opera, which I
Yeah.
love. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Is he gonna sing at us? That's
I
the
hope so.
question.
Well, I'm going to sing for him. So.
Well, if you are as excited as we are about the opening of Epic Universe, get in touch with our friends at Universal Fan Travel, part of MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, and they will give you a fee-free, no obligation quote to plan your trip there.
Yes, and I also love that if you purchase a vacation package, it's not just like reserved for the ones at Premier Hotels. Like even if you want to do a vacation package at Dockside,
Yeah.
the most affordable,
Yes.
you still have the opportunity to go to Epic Universe. So I'm happy that it's not like gatekeeping with the most
Oh,
expensive hotel.
and speaking of expensive hotels, the booking for the Helios Grand is about to start, but we have at least a starting price. And if you compare it, their starting price is $100 cheaper than the other deluxe hotels. We were all very afraid that, they're going to open this hotel that does not include express passes like the other three top hotels, and we thought they're going to charge as much, but not include express. They are charging significantly less, at least $100 less at a starting rate. So I think that if this hotel is as beautiful as it looks and provides that backdoor access straight into the park, I think that makes it a huge bargain.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you have to remember this is a Lowe's hotel. You can't
hmm
even book a Lowe's hotel in any city for the
Oh
price
no, no,
that this is starting at. So, and just from the pictures, it looks like a luxury
yeah,
style experience.
yeah. So I'm very happy to see that they are not bleeding us dry on that hotel rate like
Right. It's
we
crazy to think
suspected they
that
might.
that rate is what like All Star goes for a lot of the time, and
Uh,
I just can't wrap my head around that.
Yes, absolutely. Well, if Universal has the success that they're hoping for, maybe their hotels will start getting a lot more expensive, and Disney's will start getting cheaper.
Oh
So,
no! Please don't! Please don't! I love you, Universal.
all right. Well, before we go, we want to first take a look back at some of the comments that were left while we recorded. And we've got yes, Brian mentioned that epic weekend that we just talked about from New York Comic-Con. And Michael Bingham is definitely excited about
Same.
Epic Universe. He wants to go on opening day, but he thinks that he might wait till the crowd dies down. Yes, Michael, I agree that might be a good idea. And hi to your mom
Yes.
as well. Yo, there she is,
There she
Cindy
is.
Bingham. Hello. I hope you have an amazing day
you.
as well. All right, that is going to wrap up this week's episode. Before we go, we do want to thank our sponsors, MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, one more time. I'd like to remind everyone to please give us a rating and review wherever you listen to us. That's Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or just give us a like and subscribe here on YouTube. And finally, be sure to follow us at attractionsmagazine.com and search for Attractions Magazine on your favorite social media platforms. Carly, where can folks keep up with you?
Yes, I am on Instagram at Adventures by Carly and on X at Carly Caramana.
You can find me at S. Kuberski and at The Unofficial Guides, or pick up copies of my new guidebooks at theunofficialguides.com. And until next week, we hope you folks stay safe, try something new, but most importantly, have fun. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.